Welcome. We're back this Sunday, this 29th day of November. That's right, it's Pick'em Sports Talk Radio. Yes, we're in the building. Got myself here. We got Kareem B.I.C. Williams. I don't know where Cooper is. Maybe sleep under a bag of cheese doodles. The show must go on. Malcolm CME Hustle over there. Nursing camels back to health, but we're here, Mike and Mike style. Let's get it.
Go.
What's going on? What's
happening? Happy holidays. What's going on? Gobble, gobble, and all that.
Happy belated birthday to you. Birthday, celebrated a birthday yesterday, man.
Last night, appreciate it.
Yeah, also, shout out to my niece today. Her birthday's today, Imani.
Happy birthday, Imani. Satch's in the building.
Yeah, definitely. This episode of Pick'em brought to you by Pop Pop's Woodshop. Pop Pop's Woodshop, specializing in custom woodworking, coffee tables, china cabinets. They do it all. They are dedicated to providing you with top quality work and the utmost professionalism. Call them at 1-800-286-5233. That's 1-800-286-5233. Use the code PICK. That's P-I-C-K. Once again, Pop Pop's Woodshop. 1-800-286-5233. Use the code PICK, P-I-C-K.
Use the code in full effect. Pop Pop's Woodshop. So last night, let's get right to it. The elephant in the room, Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, exhibition style, 2-minute rounds.
Yes.
8 rounds of boxing exhibition. So many rules last night. I didn't even realize that there were so many rules for this fight that were put in place. You can't breathe. Can't sneeze on him. Don't touch him. Don't move close to him. Shut the fuck up. Like, it was like a lot. Like, it was so many rules in place. And I'm like, wow, what are they going to do in there? And, sure enough, Roy Jones was true to form. He turned into Huggy Bear last night. In an exhibition fight against Mike Tyson, Roy Jones must have hugged Mike Tyson every round possible, holding his hands, arms by his side, running when he could, tiptoeing away sideways, really making a mockery of himself. At 51 years of age, and Mike at 54, you didn't really expect them to be, a knockout, drag out fight. But I did expect Roy Jones to throw some punches, and instead he threw his open arms around Mike Tyson for 8 rounds of boxing. Clearly he respects Mike Tyson's punching power.
Yes.
As afterwards in an interview he said, when you're in there and you get hit by that man, he hits very hard to the body. I don't think Roy Jones will be making a return to exhibition style boxing. As he said last night, he has to go home and talk it over with his family.
Right.
My guy, when you say you have to go home and talk it over with your family, that means you're not coming the fuck back, my guy. Like, you're down bad. You look like you were 2 beers away from an Al Bundy couch in the middle. You really did not look in shape. And Mike lost 102 pounds to get in shape for this exhibition fight. He came about 8 months ago. He was 317 pounds. He got down to 220 last night, and he put on the old black shorts, the short joints. He had on the old shorts and the black boots and the intimidation. And I think Roy didn't really want to be in that ring last night. Did you get a chance to watch it? What do you think? What are your thoughts on it?
Oh my God, man! Shout out to Dirty Old Man last night. We had a stream party, and we had a stream party. I'll tell you this. I'll start by saying this. Roy Jones Jr. He took the fight. We were talking last week. Jones wanted to take the fight because it was on a short notice. Jones thought that he would have the cardio edge. Obviously, that was not the story last night. Well, I'll give it to Jones. Let's start with Jones. First of all, Jones, guy came up to 210 pounds. There were 10 pounds difference. Jones put on a lot of flab. From Tom Brady, same thing. Guys getting old, you want to have some flab on you so you can take the brunt of a Mike Tyson punch.
Or a hit, right.
Roy Jones, obviously, I fault the ref in this. I think the ref should have did more to break these clinches up. I was counting 7-8 seconds when they were just standing there doing the tango.
Right.
The refs got to get in there and break the fight up. It's only 2-minute rounds. Let the guys fight. They're gonna be hugging on each other. Of course, Jones ain't gonna want to keep getting hit by Mike Tyson, man. I mean, I could feel those punches when the guys were clinching and Tyson was he's putting his gloves on him. I get that. Jones, I think, came in here as cardio. You see him gasping on the sidelines, in the corner, taking real deep breaths. Tyson looked very good. Tyson was ready. I think Tyson is really serious about this. He wants to have more fights. He wants to run it back with Roy. I don't like all the rules in place, but I get it. You want to protect these fighters. These fighters aren't, in the ring rust is still on. Jones didn't want to get hit by. I think Jones did what he had to do to survive in there, and I think that was Jones's. There was his game plan. It was to clinch and hold, and not like let Tyson explode on him. Couple good jabs. Jones landed on him. Tyson got his point across. I don't think Jones is going to step in there the next time if he does get in there. And I'll tell you this: Jones is his worst enemy. He's a danger to himself because Jones is not going to be able to sit on the sideline and not box. He's not going to be able to do it. He left that option open when he said, "I'll talk to Pensacola and see what they say. If they want me to fight again, I'll get in the ring." I think Jones is going to keep getting back in that ring, but just pick his opponents a little bit differently. These guys not a natural heavyweight. Fight someone and go back down to your regular weight and fight someone more your ilk. Not a Mike Tyson, man. Tyson is ready.
I think it's over for him for the heavyweight. I really think he just needs to sit down, to be honest. Yeah. Roy, if you're just gonna hold everybody and just dance around, it's just not something that we want to see. Mike looks like he's ready to fight in today's boxing era.
Yes.
At 54 years of age, Mike is looking fresh and looking like he wants to get back in there and he's got something to prove.
Shout out to his trainers, man. Shout out to his trainers.
Shout out to the training. Shout out to Mike for really stuck to that vegan diet for 9.5 months and got in there and put the work in to, come out last night and actually give us a show. And that's all I think that really matters. I think that going forward, Mike has a chance to fight possibly a Lennox Lewis or, of course, in the Vander Holyfield in the future. They both were interested. So it'll be interesting to see what happens down the line as far as the exhibition. I think there are too many rules. You need to let these guys box.
Yes.
If they're going to knock their asses out, then let them knock each other out. At
12-ounce gloves.
Really matter.
12-ounce gloves. They had to.
And let them go for it.
Right. Can I ask you this? I would have liked to see like 5 3-minute rounds. The 2-minute rounds, man, that's the clinching, it just took away from the round. So we didn't see as much action as we would like to see. Even Jones but Tyson was thankful for the 2-minute rounds. You could tell, I was pretty interested in seeing what they were talking about, when they were interviewing each other. Jones is probably sitting in the Epsom salt bath right now. I already know that, but
Yeah, he's done. He's definitely in a hyperbolic chamber with Goku. I think that he needs to definitely work out next time. Never take anything for granted. If you're going to do it, go all the way with it and don't half step.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. Moving along. Yesterday, Clemson, they got their golden boy quarterback back. And he looked really good against Pittsburgh. I know it's not really much of a matchup for Clemson, but he hung up a lot of points yesterday. And now the debate is being said, with the format being the way it is with college football today, over the last 4 years with the playoffs, can Clemson win the national championship? And are they the favorite as long as Mr. Sunshine is quarterbacking down there in Death Valley?
That's a good question. Notre Dame looks good. Not the 40-47 loss. Right. I don't know, man. That's a good question. Or is Notre Dame here to stay?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Notre Dame always looks good when their opponent is vulnerable. They never look the part when they have to be the part. So I don't know. I think the jury is still out on them. They're an independent team, so they go around and they play whoever they want at will.
Right.
So it's really hard to gauge them. I would like to see them again in the playoffs against Clemson at full strength with the running game, the quarterback, and everybody in place. I think Clemson can run the table, even though they are number 3 or number 4 right now, ranked in the nation. Of course, Alabama's right there. at number one. But I think Clemson is definitely the favorite as long as everybody's healthy. I think that they can win another national championship. Coach Dabo and those boys down there.
Yeah. We'll see, man. I mean, it's going to be very interesting when you got the X factor, which is the injuries and COVID, with a lot of these teams not able to prepare and get in game shape, man. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm starting to focus in on college football, being it the other sports are idle right now, except for football, of course. But yeah, interesting to see.
We'll see what happens.
Can I just say something? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What do you guys say?
Just a side note, and just to go back real quick to the boxing here. Just a note to self. You cannot all of a sudden say you want to be a boxer and expect to go into a boxing match and dominate without any defensive type of strategy, any defensive kind of skill set. I'll just say
you will end up getting Nate Robinson. Trust me. Yes. You will end up being a meme on the Summer Jam screen. You saw what happened last night. You saw Nate really not look the part. You can't just hop into a sport because you already are an athlete and expect to pick up and be able to do what those other guys do. They have years of training, and it showed last night. I mean, he ate the mat more times than a yoga instructor, and I don't know. Like, I think Nate really needs to just leave boxing alone, and stay in his lane. Some things are not for everybody. And Nate, my guy, you're down bad on Sunday morning. You look really bad out here. They have used you from everything from a mattress firm to a doormat, a welcome mat on Thanksgiving. Like, you're done out here, my guy. So shout out to everybody last night for coming out and performing in that exhibition style. But Nate, it's just not for you, my guy.
Right.
That's it.
I forgot to tell you. Yeah, that's good.
All right, we're moving along. Speaking of COVID, with the COVID being in place, a lot of NFL teams are testing positive, including Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens. What can the NFL do, going forward? I mean, you saw what the NBA did with the bubble. They were very successful with the bubble. They had no positive testings inside of the bubble, and they ran the playoffs and the season perfectly. What can the NFL do to get in that same boat with the NBA as far as protecting their players and staff? Clearly, we're having an issue. Maybe they can form their own bubble moving forward over the next 6 to 8 months. I'm not really sure. The season only has another month or so before we're in the Super Bowl, which will be played in Tampa this year. And I'm hearing that at the Super Bowl, they're going to have bubbles, spaced out within the stadium. I'm sure they're going to be very pricey, $30,000 to $40,000 a bubble. But what can they do to protect the players and going forward with the COVID, the way it has been running rampant throughout the country?
Well, man, this is a great topic here, man. And actually, man, if I was to sanction to clean this up, what could I do? Well, first of all, I would start with strict. Basically, man, just I would have kind of a quarantine with the players as far as where you can go and where you can't be. Maybe in their own respective towns, they have their own small bubbles to where they only have a certain area that they could walk around. I'm surprised that the NFL has gotten this far this year, and actually, we can call it successful. I mean, yes, we had some COVID outbreaks, but it wasn't a whole league spread thing. And yeah, a lot of teams were affected by it. But yeah, they're gonna have to maybe if I was sanctioned to do this, I would have mandate each team have some kind of form of their own bubble regionally, because you can't put all these teams in one area like you were able to do with the NFL. Now, when Tampa hits, yeah, that's when you can implement the bubble, and I think that's what they have to do to instill a well-oiled playoffs.
Possibly even do a weekly testing of players. If you test positive, you send them home before a game. That way, there's no contamination, and the game can still be played instead of being delayed. Maybe more stricter policies as far as social distancing. Maybe handing out some fines. We're about to get into the situation where we're going to have the vaccine available, but until it's readily available to everyone, just keep those policies in place so that we can protect the refs, the coaches, and the staff and the family. You got to also remember these guys got families; they do go home. So, we have to keep everything safe moving forward. But yeah, I think the NFL has done a pretty good job as far as trying to keep it, to a minimum. I mean, nobody expected the NBA to have zero tests, positive tests. They did an outstanding job. I mean, this is a pandemic, so people are going to get sick. I mean, this is a very contagious virus, but I think they did a good job overall. I think just moving forward, just being a little bit more diligent and just staying on top of it as much as possible will get them in a better spot. Hopefully by the spring, we won't even be talking about this. We'll all be mask free and moving forward. So we'll see what happens.
To that day.
It's been a crazy year. 2020 has been a wild one, but we're about to put it behind us, and hopefully moving forward we can get back to our normal and not the new normal.
Absolutely.
All right. Man. What's going on with Pick'em this week? What do we have? What's going on? Who's on the docket?
Well, we had the Turkey Day. Turkey Day.
Yeah, we did. Yes. And we saw what happened to the Dallas Cowboys. They got 8 for lunch and breakfast. Shout out to Craig Shannon.
Yes.
And those Cowboy fans, Cowboy Nation. You guys really looked the part of a Pop Warner team with no focus and no direction. They let the football team in Washington run rampant on them.
Yes.
And I believe they hung up 40-something points. I mean, that's really crazy. 41-16. Wow.
Man.
How the mighty have fallen. Dallas is really, really, really down bad.
Yes.
I don't know whether they can rewrite the ship at this point. They don't have a quarterback. When Dak does get back, are they keeping him? Are they waiving? Are they going to try to get rid of him? Are they going to get some? We just don't know where Dallas is going. We don't know what direction they're going in. And the NFC East is upside down. We're going to have a team in the playoffs from the NFC East that might only have 5 wins, and it's really crazy. I mean, it's fucking crazy. I just don't understand. I've never seen the NFC East this bad, where everybody is jogging for the bad position. So. I mean, I don't know. It's really terrible, but
look at these stats.
Shout out to Coop real quick. Just shout out. I just got a news flash. He's not feeling very well. Our thoughts are with him as well. Hopefully he speedy recovery for Korean Coop, and we'll see him next week. But check out some of the stats. What are the stats on? Let's take a look.
This is ridiculous. Andy Dalton 9 for 19, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. Ezekiel sounds like a verse out of the Bible. Elliott 12 carries for 45 yards, and Amari Cooper. He only had decent numbers, 7 receptions for 80 yards, and those kind of on the borderline of scrub numbers. Yeah, so that ain't gonna win nothing.
Do you think Dallas needs to move on from McCarthy?
Yes, I do. And you know what? I would give him. You got to give a guy like that one more year. Just see what he can do with.
What can he do?
Nothing, but his name and what he has done in the past should buy him another year.
Your name really doesn't matter if what you've done in the past wasn't considered. I mean, he only had really 1 or 2 really good seasons with the Packers. He never really got along with Aaron Rodgers. Their whole tenure together in Green Bay, it was kind of a love-hate relationship. Where Aaron Rodgers didn't really like the way the offense was going. He thought it was pretty prehistoric and predictable. They never really got Aaron Rodgers any major pieces out in Green Bay to work with. And it's kind of the same thing in Dallas, only you have the talent, but then you have a prehistoric offense run by a dinosaur that is just stuck in his ways. And you can see his plays coming down the yellow brick road. You know exactly what's coming. And nobody is surprised. They did do a few gimmick plays last week against Minnesota that got them over the hump. And we know Minnesota's been up and down all year with the Vikings, whether they win or if they play well and consistent. But I think that moving forward, McCarthy needs to go. I think there needs to be some changes, but also changes up in the upper office as well. But I don't think Dallas is ready to tackle that monster as far as Jerry Jones and giving up some power of attorney and putting somebody else in place that can make the football decisions on a daily basis in Dallas.
I'll keep saying that as long as Jerry Jones is a GM, the Dallas Cowboys will never win another Super Bowl or NFC championship. So it starts there. Mike McCarthy, I'm not really a big fan of his, but I see these young coaches coming from the Bill Belichick nest, and they're Matt Patricia had 2 years. Couple Eric Mangini had a few years. Romeo Cornell. couple of years with Charlie Weiss. Right. Always interiming, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think the Cowboys are the Cowboys, and I think it's culture. The reason why the Cowboys are the way they are, this culture, man. You can't, you know, culture got to be changed over time. And although I'm not a Cowboys fan, I think they're the most America's overrated team, and they've been that way since. I mean, you're talking about a team that hasn't even won the chip since '96, when they had different kind of helmets. So you know.
All right.
Shout out Craig Shannon.
Shout out to Craig Shannon. It's all good. Cowboy Nation. We feel your pain from a distance.
Yeah.
What's going on the docket this week with Pick'em? What do we have? What kind of picks do we have? Any intriguing matchups? Any big matchups? What's Kansas City doing? Where are the Steelers? Do they have a bye? I'm not even really sure on that one. What do you got for us?
Well, just the backtrack. Texans, Lions, Scrub Bowl. Texans 41-25. Matt Patricia fired. Interim. I don't know who's the interim there. Well, this schedule, you got Miami Dolphins. We, 6-4 still, 0-10 Jets. We already know what that is. Patriots, Cardinals. Could that possibly be a game? I like how the Patriots have been playing of late, but they lost last week. Vikings, Panthers, 4-7, 4-6. Jaguars, Browns, Scrub Bowl. Here we go. Here's one. The Titans going against the Colts. Both 7-3 teams. Titans going into Indianapolis, taking on a Riverboat Gambler.
I can't stand the Riverboat Gambler and his 90 kids. Phillip Rivers. Oh man, I don't know. It's a game. I mean, but you don't. Like you said, you never know what you're going to get with him. Like one week he's throwing the ball sideways, the next minute he's throwing the ball at his baby in the backyard. I don't know what he's going to do. Those big cowboy boots he wears. He's like really. I don't know. Rivers. He wasn't our quarterback for a long time in San Diego and in LA. With the Chargers, but I'm not really a big fan of his. He's been very inconsistent his whole career. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. Since you've thrown it up on the docket, the Titans are in Indianapolis for this game. I think that it really doesn't matter where you're playing at until the fans really get completely back into the stadiums and you feel that crowd and that energy. But I think that the Titans, after losing 2 in a row mid-season, are going to come in here and get a win. I'm going to go with the Titans.
Well, I'll say this. This is a must-win for the Titans, just for their dignity right now. They've been losing some key games. Colts, we see what the Colts beat the Titans. I'm gonna start paying attention more to the Colts as far as being one of these elite teams out here. So we'll see. This game is a very important game, I think, to this league right now. So at home, Titans at home, Colts, outstanding defense. I think the Colts have all the tools, man. I'm gonna go on the other side of the spectrum there, and I'm gonna go for the Colts. All right. Next game on the docket, we have this is just out of from our teams, but the 3-7 New York Giants coming off a bye to take on the rudderless Cincinnati Bengals at 2-7-1. Giants making that push for the NFC East. Crap.
They are definitely making a push, and they have won Super Bowls with a losing record in the past. So this is not out of the realm for them. This is not out of their comfort zone. They're used to being sorry and winning Super Bowls. I'm going to say that with the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback out for the year with that horrific injury, Joe Burrow, we hope that you get better soon. That knee is we're not really sure exactly the timetable of his return. I think that the Giants get it done on the road. They're riding their 3-19 momentum, whatever kind of record they have. And they're going to go in there with those gray pants and get the victory. I'm going to go with the Giants.
All right. And I have to agree with you, man. Yeah, we have backed into the playoffs and really just turned on the charm. We've done that, some real historical Super Bowl runs. Bengals barrel down. Don't know how long he's going to be out. So early rehab for him. Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think the Giants start making a push for the NFC East today. I think it all starts today. I'm going with the favorite, my favorite, the Giants. So me and Vic are in agreement with the Giants. Moving along, the game in Buffalo, the Bills still tops in the AFC East, 7-3 Bills at the house. The Chargers coming along, LA Chargers all the way across the country to face the Bills in Orchard Park. Man, take it away, Vic.
Nobody circles the wagons more than the Buffalo Bills. They have shown who they are this season. Even though they are 7-3, They have a couple of games this year that they could have easily won. They could easily be 9-1. They're in a great division where the Miami Dolphins are making moves. Of course the Patriots are always going to be the Patriots, even with the subpar record. With so many people calling out, taking off the season due to COVID and not showing up. I'm going to say the Bills have a really great offense. They got a young quarterback that's doing this thing up there. It's tough to come across the country this time of the year and get a win, and definitely tough to come across the country when you have a Papa Smurf head coach like Lynn for the Chargers with his gray fucking beard and his fucking sweatpants that he had on his face for a mask to protect himself on the sidelines. We have a great quarterback in Justin Herbert, but our coaching is just Papa Smurfish, and we're in the land of Gargamel with our coaching staff. I really hate them. I want them all to go the way of the dodo. We will put up a lot of points, but we will come up short today. I'm going to go with the Bills.
All right. Big for the Bills. I would say trap game. The Chargers come out and, they haven't been losing by a lot, but they've been losing where it counted as far as the time management is concerned and last minute plays, not working. I can't bet against the Bills on this one at the house. I like the Chargers. I like the new quarterback, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think they have enough in the tank to beat the Bills on the road. So I'm with you, man. I'm going with the Bills on this one.
We do get Eckler back this week. Eckler is activated and he will be playing, but I still got to go with the Bills at home this time of the season. They're just a more complete team.
Gotcha. Moving along. This is going to be an interesting game in Tampa Bay. The 7-4 Buccaneers welcome in the 9-1 Chiefs, possibly the Chiefs
Super Bowl. Possibly this could be the Super Bowl.
This possibly could be the Super Bowl, man. Chiefs Buccaneers. I don't think there's going to be dominance right here by any one team in this game. I think this game is pretty balanced, man. As far as me picking a team, man, I like the Bucs. I've been believing in the Bucs. I've been riding with the Bucs. Can they get it together this week as far as the receiving core? Do they have enough firepower? Do they have enough? Can the defense put their feet out and trip up Mahomes? That is the question. I'm gonna ride with the Bucs on this one, man. I think I want to see the Bucs win. I'm gonna will the Bucs to win, man. Bucs, you'll thank me later. I'm going for the Bucs.
I think the Bucs stops the fuck here. And I really don't know if Brady has enough to get it done. The defense shows flashes of being good with Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator for the Bucs. Yes. And then they let the Saints come in there and go marching in and put up 30 plus points, and they don't even muster more than a field goal. So I don't know what team's going to show up today, but I know the Chiefs damn sure are going to show up. They have weapons on every facet of the game. Even their water boy runs a 4-3. I'm going to go with the fucking Chiefs and Mahomes. I'm sorry. I think they should really be undefeated. They did take that 1 L to the Raiders earlier this season, and they actually had another game with the Raiders that they had to come from. The Raiders look like they're really built to beat them, but we can get into that afterwards. But right. I'm still going to go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to take it. I think Brady doesn't have enough. Chiefs.
All right, so we're on both sides of the spectrum. Vic for the Chiefs. I am for the Bucs. Moving along, classic division rivalry right here. The 5-5 Bears, disappointing Bears, just disappointing. Going in the Lambeau Field to take on the 7-3 Packers. The Bears just, we called this team out. Malcolm, called them out, and we saw for ourselves the Bears are not for real. 5-5, rudderless, if you ask me. You're not a real leader behind center. That's
Malcolm
not going to work.
Really did call them out, and we all put a target on their backs early, and then we tried to give them the benefit of the doubt 4 games in, and then they lost to the DuPont painting team from North Dakota. It was just they just don't show up for the big games, and the games they're supposed to win, they struggle with. It's like you just don't know. Foles only is playoff Foles when he's a quarterback. He's never a regular season Foles unless he has to come in and relieve somebody who just broke their femur, and then he plays phenomenal for 5 games. So. Green Bay is Green Bay. Every year they're always competitive, no matter what pieces Aaron Rodgers has around them. I'm going to ride with the Cheeseheads. I think they're going to get this win. And the Bears are who we thought they were. They're just like a scuttlebutt team, searching for an identity. And I think the Packers hold it down and win that division, and they're going to win today. Picking the Packers.
All right, Vic, and I gotta follow suit. I just think the Bears they're set up to lose the first round in the playoffs. Foles, no pressure when someone gets hurt and you come in. Hey, no pressure. Let me just come in here and just be relaxed. When you have the team like Jacksonville, he gets hurt, he comes back, plays like crap. Jacksonville releases him. Playoff Foles, man, only break in case of playoffs. So I'm gonna go with the Packers on this one. Packers are the pack, and that's that. Moving along, we'll do the Monday night game, even though this is a kind of a lopsided win, but you never know. 7-3 Seahawks on the road going into Lincoln Financial Field to take on the 3-6-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Also, we have a Tuesday game as well. Real quick, if you want to pick Seahawks and Eagles.
Yeah, Wentz is really trash.
Man, is he trash?
Jesus. And it's just unfortunate that Eagles have a 3-6-1 record. What is that? A pick 3 number straight in box? I mean, I can't rock with the Eagles. They're really trash. It's not even the coaching; it's just the quarterback and the leadership. They don't have any real weapons over there. They've been struggling all year to get victories. Seahawks are who they are. They're well coached. They got Sierra Leone at quarterback. I'm gonna say they got the new Megatron Metcalf, who is really shining at wide receiver and wideout.
Yes.
They don't have the Legion of Boom, of course, anymore, but they still just have enough defense in the tank to keep you from beating them. I'm going to pick the Seahawks.
Nice. And I'll go ahead and follow suit here. I mean, it's a Monday night game. We all know how lopsided this is, but you'd be surprised it is football, but I'm going for the Seahawks as well. Now, this next game here, I guess because of the whole COVID thing with Lamar Jackson and a couple other players, the Ravens and the Steelers, 6-4 Ravens on the road going into Heinz Field to take on the 10-0 Steelers. Steelers still unbeaten.
Still.
Robert Griffin III gets the start, huh?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
RG3.
You know me. One bad knee. I mean, so I don't know. OPP, like, look, I don't know. Even with Lamar Jackson, if he wasn't tested positive for COVID, would still have a hard time going into Heinz Field this late in the season with Mike Omar Epps at coach for the Steelers. looks like he was DJing at a juice convention. Tupac on the rooftop. Q, hey, Q. So, Mike's got him playing really well. The defense is sound. Big Ben is back. Big Ben still hasn't put together his best game this season, but because the defense is so good, and he gives the offense the ball in positions with a shortened field, where Ben doesn't really have to make a whole lot of decisions. They got a good running game. They got great wideouts. The Steelers are the Steelers. They're rolling. I'm going with the steel curtain.
All right. Ben, he hasn't been playing his best, but he hasn't been playing bad. He's been managing the game. Right. They haven't really been put. I like how this Connor kid is coming of, he's forming into something special here. He's starting the all-purpose yards. Defense, I don't see Robert Griffin III hasn't made a start in this league. And man, 2014 when he was with the Browns.
With the Browns.
But I always keep saying that I think Lamar Jackson's success was, attributed to Robert Griffin III being a backup, kind of taking his kid under his wings. I mean, I just see it. I think that's why I think Robert Griffin is still around on the depth chart. Number 2, Robert Griffin gets a start. I don't think it's enough, even if they had Lamar Jackson. And I gotta roll with Vic on this one. I think the Steelers are 11-0. The Dolphins will start keeping the champagne on ice. Zonka.
Well, they're panicking right now. The last 3 Dolphins that are alive from that 72 team are like in a nursing home, shitting their diapers right now because the Steelers' schedule down the line is favorable for the Steelers. A lot of their big games, they've already had their divisional games with the Titans, and this was the second one with the Ravens. And RG3 is going to get chopped up like lunch meat. So I don't know. They could make a move, but the Steelers are also notorious for having great records and losing to a team that you just never even thought would even be on the radar. So, they still got a loss on deck for them, but they could still run the table. But
let's check this out.
Real good right now. Yeah.
So the Steelers
what's their record and what is their remaining schedule?
Okay, next week they got the Washington football team, and then they have the Bills on the 13th. The Bengals, I think they'll win that one. The Riverboat Gambler on the 27th. and they have the Browns on the 3rd. So
look, there's only 2 potential losses left on that schedule, and that's the Bills and the Riverboat Gambler with his 45 children.
Yeah,
so I don't know. If they can get by the Bills, they could be undefeated going into the playoffs.
Yes, very interesting. If they can get past, man, any of these teams can get them hands.
Hey, right.
Go ahead, Mike Tomlin. Go ahead, Omar Epps.
Hey, Q. You wanted all the juice. He wanted all the juice.
All right, just to recap real quick. Titans and Colts, we're split there. Vic for the Titans. I am for the Colts. The Giants and Bengals, we're in agreement that the Giants will get it done on the road. Chargers and Bills, we're all for the Bills. Chiefs and Bucks, we're split there. Vic for the Chiefs. I am for the Bucks. The Bears and the Pack, we're both for the Pack. Seahawks and Eagles, we're both for the Seahawks. And the Ravens and the Steelers, we both say that the Steelers will get it done. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. Hopefully he gets better and recovers from this COVID, this nasty pandemic going on here. It's been real stressful.
Yes.
Playing on the mind. So we still have football. Thank God. NBA is set to go on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Real excited about that. And you are with your Lakers making moves, getting rejected by the league and trying to make things happen. I'm mad at that. So that's it, my friend.
All right. It's been a good week. How was your Thanksgiving other than, everything else going on in the world?
Thank you for leftover turkey.
Oh, wow.
And dressing and macaroni and cheese. Been real blessed. Got them in the refrigerator. Shout out to the whole family out there. My wife's side of the family, really showing your boy some hospitality. Some love.
Right.
Really get the desserts this year. I'm kind of watching my figure, but
that's good.
I enjoyed myself. Yourself?
I want to say, Thanksgiving was great. I was really surprised. I was really surprised, on another note for the birthday. My kids are usually a hit or miss with the birthday, and the Father's Day gifts. Sometimes they give me sweaters and shirts that light up that say North Dakota on them and have a surfer on the front of them. 5 years ago for Christmas, I got a big pair of joggers, the size 6X, because I was like really as big as Big Pun, and the pants look like Hammer pants, and Vic don't hurt them. When they were younger, I got a green snake for Father's Day to put in my car to protect me against potential spiders that might get into my car. My son gave it to me with a snotty, "Here, Dad, it's a gardener snake." So I'm really happy with the gift selection that they came with last night. They really hit everything on the mark. I'm starting up my own YouTube channel. I'm getting back into doing events next year for 2021, post-pandemic. So they got me like a stand for my streaming camera and a light so that I'm going to be able to do my interviews and do everything that I need to do. And then they gave me plenty of gift cards. Like, y'all really blessed the kid last night. And I really want to say shout out to my kids for coming through and not giving me golf balls or tennis balls or a Venus Williams tennis racket because I've never played tennis. They really gave me things that I could use. And that's all I ever fucking ask of y'all. And, and I'm really about to go off on a tangent, but we're going to wrap this up. But that's all I ask you guys. Give me what I need. Don't give me shit that I'm not going to use. Not any golf balls or pool balls or cue stick. You know what I mean? One year they gave me, I think, like a easy bake up. It's just some crazy shit I've got in my attic and in my storage from these kids over the years. But you got to love them. They gave it their best. So shout them out. It's been a great holiday weekend and a great birthday weekend. We held this week down back to back, Mike and Mike style. Shout out to Malcolm, who's overseas fighting like a secret snake from Metal Gear Solid. Over there, making sure that the country is secure. We do respect your service. Coop, feel better.
Yeah.
You said you're not well. Clearly, you had a run-in with Dragon Ball Fireball or something. I don't know.
It's the Cheez-It monster.
The Cheez-It monster strikes again, and he needs to recover. So,
stay your ass in the house.
Stay your ass in the house and get well and grow out your afro, Benson.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Fucking Lieutenant Governor of Georgia. So it's been real. Another week of Pick'em in the books.
All right.
B.I. Williams. Kareem Cooper, Malcolm Edwards, DJ Wide Body.
Yep.
So long. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Peace.